Good morning. It's Wednesday, September 16th, 2020, and we're talking about ridiculous, the devotional based on Acts 25, verses 1 to 22. And we see Paul in a ridiculous phase, a ridiculous situation. He's being bounced around from leader to leader, all of them keeping him in prison, looking at his case, whether he's guilty or not guilty, but not really concerned about that issue at all. It's all politics. It's all someone else is in control. I hate times like that, but I've lived through them, and so have you. And it is very easy during times like that to think, okay, I must be out of God's will because this is ridiculous. And that is the very issue that we want to talk about today. Those ridiculous phases of life, those times when nothing seems to be going right, is it a sign that you're outside of God's will? For Paul, it was not. He had clearly been told by Jesus when Jesus stopped him in his tracks, literally on the Damascus road, and told him, you're going to live for me, and this is what you're going to do. You're going to testify before kings and governors and spread my gospel. And that's what Paul was doing. And for a while, he was spreading the gospel by reaching people for Christ and starting churches. Everything seemed to be fine. The gospel was being spread. Churches were being planted. But then this ridiculous phase took place. Paul is arrested. The Jews want him dead. The kings don't really care. They just want to use him as a tool. What's going on? It's a ridiculous phase from that standpoint, because change has taken place and you can't understand it. You no longer feel like you're in control. Folks, we're going to go through those phases. I have. You will, you have. What do? You do what you can. You try to be obedient to the calling of God on your life, and you trust God to make sense of it. You trust God to bring reality out of that ridiculous phase. That's the only thing we can do. We can't prevent ridiculous phases from happening to us. We can't keep things from interrupting our schedule. In fact, the first time I tried this video this morning, I got a phone call that interrupted my schedule. I had to stop the video and restart it. Nothing wrong with the phone call, but I was thinking, okay, here it is. Here's an example. God has a plan, and you have a plan. And sometimes, by God's grace, those plans intersect. But often, our plans don't intersect with God's. He's got something totally different, something that seems totally ridiculous for us to go through. Are we going to trust him to let his will conquer ours, to continue trusting him and serving him even when our plan is disrupted? May God bless you this day. Amen.